A crowd came to the Hillbilly Fair in Laurie this weekend. Most people say the Denning sisters brought them there. They're still remembered for making three-part harmony famous in the 1940s and 50s. Kim Covington talked to the Denning sisters at the Hillbilly Fair as they reminisce about their star-studded past.
It seems we stood and talked like this before.
The Denning sisters and their three-part harmony was a sound of the 40s and 50s.
Same way then, but I can't remember where.
They recorded more than 70 songs and appeared in 5 movies. The Denning sisters came to their family reunion in Laurie because an older brother lives here. The Denning sisters, Lou and twins Jean and Ginger, started their career at a very young age.
Well, we didn't really know how special it was, but we went in one day and we said, Mama, we can sound like the Andrews sisters.
Sometimes it's hard to believe.
Singing in churches and listening to the radio led them to big time when they were teenagers. Their first gig, an NBC radio show in Chicago.
He said, I don't believe what I just heard, that sound. He said, I can't believe it. It sounds like one voice with 3 parts.
We were ambitious from the time we were small. Once we started singing a trio, we just knew we wanted to be a big-time trio.
All 3 agreed their 20-year musical career was stressful and exhausting. They soon grew out of it.
Before and love before.
They say they'll never forget a minute of it and hope their sound is always remembered. In Laurie, Kim Covington, KY3 Action News.
They still sound great.
Oh, boy, that harmonizing is wonderful.
That's our report. We'll be back at 10. See you then.
Well, before you do, Ray, I want to explain to some folks that as the show progresses this morning and you hear probably more background noise than normal, because we work in a fairly confined area, and we have several people, several of the Dennings with us this morning, so we're going to be talking with different Dennings, and we'll be moving in and out, so if you hear the doors open and close, why, bear with us this morning, okay?
We don't get that around here very often.
No, we don't.
You have such a pretty smile, and welcome, Jean, a member of the famous Denning sisters. Jean, hi.
Hi, Jerry.
How are you?
I'm fine.
And JB and the beautiful lady.
And you know what? I walked out into the front office a while ago before the program started to meet these folks, and I thought I was seeing double. Two of the prettiest gals I've seen in a long time right there in our front office. You know why I say that? Because she has a twin.
Oh, is that right?
I'm fine.
To live down here.
I could have this on when I'm not talking, but when I talk it goes off.
And,
otherwise you get feedback.
So we all started coming down.
Are these
about once a
record
year
cuts?
as a get-together.
You know, I don't even know if record cuts
Nine children.
They're out of
And
turn.
how many
Sure,
of them are in
they're out
show
of business. Yeah, this was back in the 50s.
Yeah.
All
Could be
about all
the
of
same
us dabbled in it. The oldest
design,
brother
but in a
got
different
into,
company.
They were built like Rolls Royces, though.
They got rich.
Oh, well,
My old table works today.
The rest of us.
Yeah,
music
I don't know if you'd ever wear one of these out.
Now, there
Probably
were
not.
3 Denning sisters, are 3 Denning sisters. You're Jean.
Right.
Ginger we're going to have on a little later. And Lou.
Right.
And you've had some real big hits over the year.
Mm-hmm.
And, golly, turn your radio on once in a while. You remember those songs? The Denning sisters. Now, look here, I've got this cassette that I'm going to guard very, very carefully, and I'm going to try to make them forget it when they walk out the door here. And please don't talk about me when I'm gone. And
Oh no, you're taking all the fun out if I can't talk about you when you're gone.
Into our own radio show. We had a radio show every day in Wichita, KFH, and we had a show from Enid, Oklahoma, KCRC.
okay.
And they called us
we had a sponsor, the McCormick Deering Tractor Company,
Okay.
and they called us the McCormick Deering Sisters.
Oh, they did? Okay.
And they paid us $7 a week.
Well, I'll be
And
darned.
Lou thought that because we were twins, she just divided it.
Oh, she got half and the twins got the other half? And she was the oldest.
And her money bought more than ours did. And we were so unfamiliar with money that we wondered why her money stretched so far and ours didn't. We mentioned it to Mama, and Mama said, "Well, Lou, honey, that's not fair. You can't consider the twins one person."
They put the mic in front of her face just as I took it.
No one can do a better color match than Northtown Auto Body. Senior citizens receive a 10% discount on labor at Northtown. So take advantage of Northtown Auto Body's prompt personal service and minimize the inconvenience of being without your car. For a free estimate, call 346-4701.
Go ahead and say hello for me. We're with Ginger now, the second of the Denning sisters, the youngest of the Denning.
twins.
Yes. And the youngest of the three
Watch
performing
it.
Dennings. You're
How many
10
minutes?
minutes the youngest, I guess. And you don't really look like there's that much difference in your age, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, really? I
Yes.
always thought we did. There was a terrific difference.
Ginger, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ray. It's real nice to be here.
And you know KB, Ken Birdsong
I
out
sure
here.
Hi.
When you girls were all living different places, I guess, at the time you were recording, or not?
Yeah.
How'd you all
Well,
get
we
together?
could once in a while. We could. Jeannie was doing some writing, and she would mail a demo of her part and singing it, and then I'd learn my part, and then we'd mail it on to the other sister, whoever was singing the third, and we did a gospel album that way.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Are you still selling some of those albums?
Yeah, we sell a lot of them. We have an album came out of Germany, and one came out from Paris, and one came out from London. And that's sort of how we got this thing going. A friend of ours, Frank Langer, was responsible, and he wrote a letter to Bob Green of the Chicago Tribune and asked him to review one of our albums. And Bob Green got so interested in the story that he did a piece in Esquire magazine. We did an album for Capitol Records.
Oh, that's
and,
45.
That's 45. Was number one for 18 weeks.
45.
Oh, is that right? What was it?
Oh, it was just called Songs by the Denning Sisters.
What was the big record? What was the big song?
Once in a While.
Once in a
Where,
while?
When.
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
And let's see, Please Don't Talk About Me When I'm Gone and Sentimental Gentleman from Georgia. And we did that, and we had a wonderful band, and Johnny Mercer produced it. And we kids were so not blasé at all, just weren't that into the business that we didn't even check Billboard or all the big trade magazines to see just where it was. And our arranger would say, "Hey girls, you know, it's been on the charts now for #1 best album for 18 weeks." And you know, we just didn't hit home until later.
Johnny Mercer, big name in music. How did you find me? Hey, how did he find you? How did you get together? Remember that?
Let's see, I really don't know. All I know is that we were called over to sing for them, and we sang all of these songs, and we recorded them all, as Jean had said earlier, in one evening, which is just really unheard of today. And then later that night, this was back, well, we did this back when the war was still on, and we were supposed to go over and entertain the USO. And after we had done all of these songs, we went over to sing for the soldiers and the servicemen, and I opened my throat to start with Brazil, and absolutely nothing, just nothing in the world came out. And here we just recorded all evening, but had no idea I'd lost my voice, which was temporary, but we danced with the soldiers.
Where was this? Where'd you go?
We got Hollywood.
It was Hollywood.
Hollywood Canteen.
And that's where you entertained.
That's where we did it. Yeah.
They started Clearwater Power Washing and thus offered the lake area a complete and professional exterior cleaning service. Now the
This version of the Lake Today, and we are in a wonderful days in the Ozark this morning with KB back from vacation and with the Denning family.
Who has had such great songs as Turn Your Radio On, Buttons and Bows, Once in a While, Please Don't Talk About Me, and San Antonio Rose, and you talk about a bunch of nice hits, and here is the money person. Now, this is the gal that made all the deals, the gal that knows how to divide the money Bagnall way. Now, you don't know much about Bagnall, but you would fit in well down there if you could divide up that money like that all the time. Lou of the Denning sisters, welcome.
Hi, Ken.
And I'm looking.
Hello. Look at her all confused.
Where are you living now?
I live in Burbank, California.
And so now we have Lou, who lives in Burbank, and we have Ginger, who lives in New Jersey. Is that right?
Jersey,
okay.
right.
And we have Jean, who lives in Tennessee.
Knoxville, Tennessee.
So you're scattered from one end of the United States to the other, across the continental United States, aren't you? And how long have you lived in Burbank now?
About 6 years.
6 years.
Overall, I've lived in California about 20 years.
And you have you've become a confirmed Californiite, I guess.
Oh, I love it.
You love it there.
Yeah, I can't get used to the humidity in this part of the country.
Right. Well, tell me about after you started you had a few hits and that sort of thing. Then in the 48, 49, 50, you began to pick up a little steam. It sounds like, as far as your career is concerned. Did you ever get on TV? Did you were young?
Well, actually, they didn't have, the regular TV that they have today. We did a few shows where they were testing it, in Chicago. We were in Chicago, and they used to have a studio that they would have different people come out, and they would show it to a few homes, maybe 100 homes, just as a test.
Oh, is that right?
And but Jean and Ginger did a couple of TV things with, the girl who took my place when I left. But I never did do regular TV.
Why did Lou? Oh, you did. Now, there have been.
Oh, she's married, and
Jean and Ginger were together.
Marriage has a tendency to change things, doesn't it?
Very much. Well, actually, Jean and Ginger and I were considered the nucleus of the trio. And later when we got married and started having babies, whoever was, was about ready to give birth, we called in our younger sister Dolores or our older sister Martha.
Well, it's nice to have a big family that you can call in reserves. And when there are that many girls, it seemed like it's probably a lot of you pregnant all the time.
Well, yeah.
Very active.
Jean and Ginger wound up having 7 children.
Ginger has 7 children.
And Jeannie 5.
5, and how many for you?
I had 2.
My goodness, you gals were doing something else besides singing. Lou of the Denning sisters, and we'll be right back.
Call Walden and Santry Service. They cover the entire Lake area.
Okay, now if one of you would get that cassette for me.
Call Walden and Santry Service.
While we were meeting secretly, our love was all we broke 2 hearts.
That's Ace singing. Anybody who has ever been over lately to Dina's over on Highway 5 can hear Ace Denning singing over there and playing and enjoying and having a great time. And those of us who can remember and recall a little bit back further can remember Ace at his heydays, really great, moving on, making all kind of money for the Governor Hotel in Jefferson City. Welcome to the lake today, Ace.
Thank you.
Admired you and your talents for such a long time, and have danced and had more fun dancing to your music over the years. And golly, it's been I think I first saw you play at the Rathskeller or the Governor Hotel back in the, what was that, early 60s?
60s.
Is that right?
60 to 60, about 61, and then from then on.
How long are they here for? How long?
They're here till they're going to the club with me tonight, and they'll be with me tonight and tomorrow night, and we'll do the Hillbilly show Saturday night from 6:30 to 8:30, and then Sunday afternoon is the biggie. That's when we're gonna be at Dina's and have buffet lunch and then jam session. Everybody's gonna play.
Is that right?
So,
I might be able to.
Now that's one you don't want to miss.
See almost all of the instruments. Sax and clarinet and alto and tenor and steel guitar, harmonica, and now I'm just playing organ and piano, clavinet and harmonica, and I do play the guitar sometimes, but I don't do it all the time because it kind of sounds like one of the other things, and I said, why pick it up, you know?
One of the things that I didn't ask the girls when they were on, and I'll ask you, did you have any formal training, or any of the girls have any formal? The girls were talking about...
They didn't, I did. I had a little bit at a music college in Illinois, at Western State Teachers College, actually, and I learned the harmony and notes and all. But then I arranged for the big bands. I played in a lot of big bands.
Oh, you did? Who'd you play for?
Oh, just old hotel bands like Wally Stouffer and, you know, the Chuck Foster, the bands, and Pat Humphreys. They weren't number ones, but they all played the same big old book. And then I played, when I was in Nashville, those big, like Steve Ack and all had come into town and come to that territory. They would only bring lead alto and lead trumpet and drums and piano. So they picked all the rest of them. We'd sit there, us guys that could read, you know, pretty good. We'd sit there and play with 10 different named bands in 10 different weeks.
Did the girls ever, when you were doing a gig at the Rathskeller or wherever, did they ever come in and
I don't think they did.
Did that ever happen?
Well, see, Lou sang with me as a part of the trio. My brother Mark and Lou and I were a trio, and she did. But the others did. Lou did, and we stayed as a trio for about 2 years.
Oh, is that right? Where were you singing now?
Oh, Hyatt House in Des Moines and Holiday Inns and Ramadas and there and there. As long as I can get on the stage.
If they haul you up there, you'll get...
they'll haul me up there, the jack, you know, jack me up, put me up there. No, just as long as I can.
Well, we're talking with Ace Denning, and we have had the good fortune this morning to have the Denning family on the lake today, and it surely was a pleasure for all of you guys to be here. And if you get a chance, go over to Hillbilly Fair and hear the Denning sisters and the Denning family perform, and pack the house at Dina's on Sunday. And if you want to eat, you better get there early, and then
2 nights a week.
Yeah, 2 nights a week. Ace is there anyway.
Friday
What nights? Friday and Saturday nights
all the
at
time.
Dina's anyway. And golly, it's just been a privilege, hasn't it, Ken?
It has been a lot of fun, and I want to tell you, this family is a special family. You can feel the vibes from
all seem to have
all teeth.
Yeah, it sure is.
Get that from mother, you know, the all teeth.
It's best we do. Here's a kiss. Wow, more. Here's a kiss. I'm changing my mind. 'Cause if I go, I know you'll talk about me when I'm gone.
That was the Denning sisters, and thank you all, and we'll be back next week with the Water Patrol.
Let's go stand for the camper. Let's go stand.
Probably tired out.
That's cute. That's cute. That's good.
Just point a camera at him and drop it. Come on.
Hello there.
Hi there. Howdy. Oh, God. You look better with them on, right?
No, you don't. You look beautiful.
Lordy, how are you?
Hi there, darling.
Hello there.
Come on, Herb. Get in. I'm fine.
It's my chair.
And, you know, it's funny how people with great talents aren't forgotten. Sometimes you think you are, but you're not.
I appreciate it. We are enjoying the play.
Let me just, I don't know who's going to do the talking here. We'll just kind of go from one to the other. The first time I hear the Denning sisters is Indian Oklahoma. Is that where you actually
Yes, we were born in Oklahoma, and our first radio show was on KCRC even.
Okay. Now, were your parents musical? Were they into music also?
Yes, our folks were musical. Our dad lived singing. He sang a wonderful, wonderful bass in a quartet. Made one of the first recordings for RCA Victor in a gospel quartet back a long, long time ago.
Yeah, well, Herbie Lawrence was the first big orchestra that we ever got acquainted with. We were living in Wichita, Kansas.
Were you already in Wichita, and then that is where Herbie heard of you or saw you, and then he said, hey, I'd like for you to work with us?
Well, our sister Marva sang with his band, and Ace, did you play with him too? No. No, you didn't play with his band.
But Marvis actually was with him first,
Yes, Marva.
and you all joined him later.
Right, she sang.
You did not make any recordings with Herbie Holmes, did you?
No, we never did.
About the Denning sisters, in my way of thinking, is that you made your first album the first release of your career. In other words, like most people scratch it out and get a song. You know, and like one album, no, one song, if you're lucky. But your first release is like 8 or 10 songs on an album. How did that happen? Why did you go, I mean, how were you able to persuade Capitol, or how was Johnny Herschel able to persuade you to do the album first before you even had a single?
It's kind of an interesting story. We did cut all 12 sides in one night in Hollywood, and they were going to pick out a single from those 12 and release a single, but they thought that it made such a perfect album, and they just hated to part with any one of the songs. They said, oh, it made such a great album. And so they kept kind of waiting and looking for a single and never came up with it. Well, we only had a 2-year contract. It was running out, and we weren't going to renew with them unless they released something. Absolutely. So they just said, well, okay, we're just going to go gung-ho and release the entire album, which was an absolute phenomenon because they just didn't do it that way. And it became a #1 best-selling album.
And fortunate to say, the popularity of the Denning sisters is such that recently was reissued with additional items on it to make a longer LP.
Yes, it was.
And I highly recommend the album. It's great.
And all of these albums that we, well, you know, I was trying to mention that all of these albums that we made, one has come out of Germany, one out of Paris, and one out of London, and they can be bought.
Yes.
Even though we don't make any money off them, we don't care. We just would love to have people hear some of the old
Isn't
songs
that nice?
we recorded.
That's very nice. Because some people in entertainment are not like you. They say, hey, man, I didn't have anything off of it. I don't want those to be issued. Area Community Orchestra and Choir. Of course, this evening at 6:30 to 8:30 will be the Denning family reunion performance. That'll be something very, very special. Say thank you. 9 o'clock this evening, the Handle Latham Band will be performing for your pleasure, and there will be a $2 gift card.
Well, Jean and I were about, I think we were about 11 years old, and Sue was 3 years older. In Oklahoma, we had our own daily radio show, 5 days a week, came on noon, and they called us Paul and Jerry. We made $7.
Okay, gang, let's do it.
Makeup.
We're going first.
Okay, let's aim it at the oldest sister, Lou. Okay, how did you all get started? You started being at 11?
Yeah. Well, Jean and Ginger sang in church. They used to sing religious songs, duets, just by themselves. When we came out to Hollywood to make one of the movies we were making, the people at Capitol Records wanted us to have an audition for the movie. Johnny Mercer, I don't know if you're acquainted with him, is a wonderful songwriter, and he was part of her. And we auditioned for him, and they signed us to a contract. Is that very serious, isn't it?
Would you say, Ginger? Would you say you all had just a lot of hits so far?
We worked hard. We were at this time we were small. We always knew we wanted to be in the state. I think once we started singing the trio, we just knew we wanted to be in a big time trio. We worked at it. And the time was right. It was a time of love, harmony,
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, you know something, we have to get shots. We have to have the shots that we had before, so it won't be.
Whatever you want to do.
Darwin, you want to sit back up on the table?
We're going to show those later, because
okay. Oh, we're going to look out of sync. Yeah, I see. Is it already free to me? Should I get back on?
Okay, is it still not showing?
Bring those cards now that we know. Yes.
Look at that figure.
Are you skinny? There's some more back while those are small.
Here's some.
The ones where we need to have the Herring sisters. These are our guitar. We need to have. This is Jerry Como. Do you remember him? Yeah, they're so small. Get the record, so we can sign the back, and then people can take.
Where do you want them to
they'll be able to get the record.
Let's get these.
So you just put a stack of them out wherever you feel. This was entertaining. This was entertaining the USO during the war years. We entertained this at the hospital.
Good evening, I'm Larry Moore. Here's what's happening.
Yeah.
Everybody ready? Okay, I need you to lean in a little bit. There we go. That's cute. There you go.
It seems we stood like this before. We looked at each other in the same way, but I can't remember where or when.
I can't remember when or when. Some things that happen for the first time seem to be happening again. And so it seems that we have met before and laughed before and loved before, but who knows where or
I didn't mean to.
Yeah, get her back. I had the longest one get married, and that was a jam. Going through my sword, looking for a black shirt. I said, no bounds, and it's big under the arms. And he's got it, kid, he found it. But for Harry, that is amazing.
Thanks, George.
There's our television. We're on television. That girl is our cousin. And she's going to take care of me. Something happens to her, I need her mind.
Gene and Ginger, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Now, let's start with you, since you're now a native for the area. You've been living here for a while. I guess that's how you came upon Laurie and your family.
Right. I work here now, and I have been for the last 7 years. And right now, I've been a bunch of other clubs.
Are you going to be doing mostly your old numbers?
Yeah, we will. And we also have 6 or 7 nephews and a niece, and we're going to have just a full show of Dinnings.
Sounds like it. Sounds like you'll have quite a performance on hand. Now, I noticed that you're all spread out all over the country now. Do you ever get together and perform in other places?
Well, we just perform wherever we have a chance. We performed on some of the different gospel shows. We're going to do Nashville now, and we're going to do the Grand Ole Opry. We have some things in the future.
Well, Ace, there's been a lot of talk about this building up the Denning family.
Thank you.
Denning sisters, Ace Denning, and they'll be here tonight at the Hillbilly Fair in Laurie, starting with their performance, I believe, about 6:30. Okay, so come on out and join us. Thank you.
Will you be there tonight? Oh, we're going to try and be here and cover everything.